How would you characterize your foreign policy objective under your presidency?
Well, I believe in peace. I want a global order where we have peace.
Well,
and the United States.
This isn't Mr. Rogers' neighborhood that our country's in.
But that is my goal. You want to know what my goal is? It truly is to see peace in the world. And the greatest way to have peace is the way that Ronald Reagan said, strength. You have peace if you first have strength. But the United States has been foolish in its calculations. We know who bad actors are. And so here President Obama last December had the United States engaged in the START treaty with Russia. And so you have wealthy nations pulling back on nuclear capability, all while you have third world basket cases like Iran, who will share their knowledge on nuclear weapons with a nation like Sudan. So we'll be seeing state sponsors of terror become nuclearized, while wealthy nations like the United States are pulling the pins, so to speak, on their own nuclear weapons. It's madness. It's absolutely wrong. And so what I believe is that the United States needs to be economically viable. In order for us to be militarily viable, we have to be economically viable. That's what Ronald Reagan understood. He understood that the Soviet Union would collapse militarily if they first collapsed economically. That's exactly what happened. Now the United States is in the most precarious economic position that we have been in since Ronald Reagan. We were the chief debt creditor nation in Reagan's early term. Now we're the chief debtors in the world. This is putting our military at risk and the safety and security of the American people. And so I believe very strongly in our military. That's why I was against the debt ceiling deal this last summer that puts our military at risk. It put about $400 billion at risk immediately this summer, and another $600 billion potentially could be at risk very shortly when the super committee comes out. And in all likelihood, they're not getting any closer to an agreement. So we could be looking at $1 trillion cut, decimating the budget of national defense, all while President Obama has us in 4 wars. He's put us now in Central Africa at the request of Uganda. We don't know where that will go. And again, once we get involved in a foreign entanglement, if there's anything we've learned in the last 12 years, it's that it's very difficult to extricate once we get involved. So it's madness what we're watching. President Obama's policy seems to be use the military for, quote, humanitarian efforts, but then it turns out that it's actually a regime change. And so there is no coherent foreign policy when it comes to President Obama. But surely we need a president, and I think I will be that president, who will stand strong with a peace through strength policy for our military and our people. We need that.